my dad, he was a preacher. He started preaching when I was 3 years old. And we went to many churches, and then we heard Brother Monk on West Portsmouth, and we had a revival there. My dad did. And that was the beginning of us meeting Brother Monk and Aunt Teen. She went to that church, and then it's in 1961, I was 11 years old when we started there. And that was the beginning of me meeting Teen, the Mills family. And when they would come in town, I would see Bussy every now and then. And but when I really met him, I was still 11, and I caught his eye. But really, I flirted with him first. In a way, he was with another girl. But but Aunt Teen would take us, us young people, us young girls, on trips. We would go to Shawnee Lake, and we would go to different lakes around that area. And I have pictures, and I'm sorry I didn't bring them, but I have pictures of them, of her taking us to places we'd try to get in a boat. Can you imagine us? And that's when Judy's sister-in-law, I forget her name, Glenda, was that her name? Anyway, whichever one it was Glenn McCarty's sister. She was with us there. I have pictures of that.
Up in Ohio?
Up in Ohio, yeah. She came up there with Teen one time. Yeah, Teen, she came up to stay with Teen for a while, and so that's how, and I was introduced to Judy in that way. Okay, and so as the years went, Jesse Wayne Mills, and finally we got married in 1968. Now, and then through the years, I met, well, right before we was married, we went on Thanksgiving. My sister Brenda and I went to, they lived in, Jeff, where was you born? Oxford, Ohio. And I had my first big meeting of the Mills family, because they were all there. Yeah, they lived in Oxford then, yeah. And then, yeah, they still live there, and then your dad, he worked on construction there after we were married. But anyway, that was my first introduction to all the Mills kids, you know, all the Bussy siblings. Then, when we got married, I graduated from school, and that night we went to Dartown, which is right around the corner, about half a mile from Jess and Marie. It was called Dartown, and that's where we lived when we first set up housekeeping, the old saying is. But Jess and Marie had a big farm they rented and everything like that. Marie she whistled back then. She was still my mom, your Mama Mills. She whistled still like she did years later. And she called me her 11th child. She's always called me her 11th child. And that was precious. I was just a daughter-in-law. But because really, now you can ask all of you, Jesse Wayne Bussy was her favorite. He never did anything wrong. Bussy never did anything wrong. She never called him down. He could do anything. She never called him down. She never whipped him either. And but it was an experience there, because then when we lived right around from them, the grandpa was living with them. Grandpa Bruce was living with them, and that was an experience. The boys would kind of make him mad, and if he was taking out what we used to call slop jar, his little potty, many times the kids would aggravate him, and he'd sling it at them. He would empty his potty. And I don't think he ever hit him with it, but he was something. You know, he was the one, your Grandpa Bruce was the one that would go out, it was your great-grandpa, right? Yeah, your great-grandpa Bruce. He would go out and he would stand on one side of the road, and if he wasn't picked up, he wanted thumbing. That's when he took his spells. That's what Marie called him. He'd thumb one way, and if nobody picked him up, he would go across the road and thumb the other way. Just somebody take take a trip with him or take him someplace. Jess, I got to know your grandpa, Jess. He was always kind to me. He never spoke out of order to me, not one time. He never, others, I've heard reports that he was mean to him, but he never was mean. He never misspoke to me, not one time. And I thought that I really, uh, you know, that was really me knowing one side of him from others and me experiencing my side, his side with me. He was, he was okay, he was okay. And okay, and then later I met Aunt Judy. We would spend time with her there, and that was the first, after your dad was hurt in 78, that was the first place I ever took him to. We came to Indiana to see the family. He was in a stretcher-like thing in the back of our vehicle, a travel-all, I think it was. And and then Glenn and you boys carried him in the house, and they had a little step anyway, so he could be elevated and that's the way we traveled. That was our first trip after your dad was hurt, to Duty and Glenn's there by cruising around that corner by Swifty. Wasn't it a Swifty gas station there beside them, boys? I think it was Swifty, right there beside them. And because you boys always wanted to go over there and get candy and such, even though it was just gas, I think. But okay, what else do you want me to say?
Now you talking about whenever you was up whenever you moved to Oxford or whatever, you and Dad was married. And
Yeah.
You had Jeff in Oxford. Now Teen, she was in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
She was already married and everything.
Yes. Her and Uncle Bob didn't get married till right before I did. Before we did.
Junior, correct? Her first husband.
Yeah, I didn't know Junior. Yeah. No, he had already passed when I met her. She had David, of course. Yeah, David was already born when I met. And I do have a picture someplace of your first drum set that he bought from you. I have a picture of him playing them someplace, and that was really sweet, yeah. But anyway, what else now do you want me to get? What else do you want, Travis?
What about the other set? Go ahead. When did Dad start preaching? How long was after you all were married?
You were 6 months old. You were 6 months old. You were born in February, so that was in the fall. We started evangelizing. We had a 17.5-foot trailer. I had the two boys, Jeff and Jerry. We traveled all over the place. We went to Texas, about burn up. We about burned up in Texas, and somebody, the Menons, is that their last name? He put a little air conditioner in the back of our little trailer, and then we came back from then in the fall, and we got a 25-foot. Boy, we traveled high there.
Now, was it the 17-foot or the 25-foot? Were you such a venom back there?
Oh, that was a 25-foot.
Dad?
No, it was a 17 and a half. We went to Florida. Yeah, that was it, because we had the station wagon.
They were getting ready, going down the road.
Yeah, we were gonna the Denhams. They were gonna introduce us to the UPC camp meeting, or international, or whatever it was, in Florida. So they had a little what was it, Volkswagen, and we had that station wagon from your Uncle Wayne. Okay, that's what we pulled our trailer with, and that was still the 17.5-foot. And, yes, and so Bus wanted to go ahead and get the boys ready. So he took the Volkswagen and went ahead. This was before phones, this was before telegraph, I think, or anything. Sure, oh goodness. So he took off with the two boys to get them ready, stop someplace and get ready. And Brother Denham was pulling. He'd never pulled a trailer. And he was pulling us, and Sister Denham and I were in the back. I was sitting,
on a trailer. I was sitting on a suitcase, and Brother Denham was giving it this, you know. Brother Denham, James Denham was doing it. I mean, I don't know how she was giving me an updo, and it was. And then we didn't know where bus pulled off. Had no idea if he was behind us or in front of us, and this was a miracle from God. This is the truth. We pulled off finally. We had to get ready, you know. This gas station wasn't even running, and we found we plugged in the iron. I was ironing clothes out there on the hood, and we had no idea. Bus had no idea where we were, and we sure didn't know where he was. And there we were, just parked under this light of this gas station that was not open. And all of a sudden we saw this little Volkswagen pull off the interstate, and it was Bussy and the boys. And you talk about a miracle that was, because we were going to a conference, that big conference, you know, and we had no idea at all. Okay, and we found us a place to park and blah, 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 and all that. But the first night that we were going to the camp meeting, there was a wreck. So Bus and Brother Denham, you know, we were sitting and watching. Well, this guy that was in the wreck, he kind of went over under the overpass and threw something out. You knew your dad. You knew your Uncle Bus. He had to go see what that was. So him and Brother Denham shuffled over there. They got to the place and they was looking around. Bus, you know how slick he was, and he just kind of reached down and got it. It was a gun. Oh yes, yeah. He would chase the boys. He would tell them to take off running.
Yes.
And you didn't get very far. He would shoot them with a BB gun, and that is the truth. It would bring. See how mean your uncle was?
He gave it to me and said, "Here, son."
Oh yeah, that's
He
right.
shoot me. He took off before you get ready to fall. I busted my ear.
Yeah, that is right.
He brought the blood.
Jerry got him back. Got his dad back. He did. He got to shoot him back with the BB gun. What was good for the goose, good for the gander, or something like that. Okay.
Do you remember who Dad and Bus worked for while they were in stuff?
Yeah, Harold Hall.
You ever hear the story about Dad borrowing the bus's car? Because he cleaned it, she said, "Don't let June touch it."
What? Okay, what was this story? They need to tell me this story, probably.
He got pulled over and he got a DUI. And
Who did? Your dad?
Dad did, and he had to go out and clean the car and everything because it was Sunday morning because it was Saturday night. And his boss came in the middle of the night, took care of it, cleaned it all.
Joe Pullman.
Gave it
Joe
back.
Pullman.
Yeah, and so everything was good. I got the
Oh,
money, got him out of jail and everything.
are you kidding? Yeah. You know, after Bus passed away, the boys, Joe had been injured, and they took him, your uncle's. Well, it wasn't very old. His wheelchair, the last electric one, or didn't you? It was $26,000. They had Jeff and Joe took it out there to him, and then later was it? Oh. And then later he had that van with the lift and everything, and they took him that too.
And Joe did.
Joe wanted to take him that. Yeah, this was after. Yeah, Joe Pullman. Yeah. Okay, because see, he was the foreman of Harold Hall. Yeah, that's yeah.
Dad was coming after he said,
Oh my goodness.
you was gonna find out.
Oh my goodness, I did not know that. If I did, I had forgotten, but I would have remembered that. Oh my goodness. Don't tell Judy. Don't tell Judy. Oh, keep that down. That's
Tell some stories about the boys.
all about the boys. Well, they like to wrestle. Okay.
Oh my God.
Now Jerry. Okay.
Dad's way of, yeah. Tell them about Dad's way of course. Oh.
What?
Dad's way of getting us to, you know, toughen up. He'd bring the church boys over. Or my age. He'd do it to me.
At Stuttgart?
Yes.
Okay.
Dad would be the coach. Dad would be the coach for one, and another guy in the church would be a coach for me or whatever. Back
Him
and
take a
forth.
rag on his head, put it on his head, and give
We
him
had it. We did it. Fight.
a little wrestling.
Okay, he toughened him up every way he could.
Bad.
Maybe you can tell. Yeah, let Jerry tell some about his dad.
I'll just tell you that little story right
No, you tell a bunch
No,
of them.
that was bad. You know, that scripture says fathers provoke not your children to wrath. You know, Dad didn't read that one.
He jumped over that one.
Yeah, he didn't get that scripture. But he would bring boys over from the church, little boys, my size and my age or whatever. And Dad's way of getting frustration out for us or whatever. If me and Jeff had a disagreement, he would just say, "Okay, boys, get the boxing gloves and just box it out."
Oh,
and we
yeah.
just
Against
we would
wood,
just
against
beat the
wood,
tar out of each other. That's how he taught us how to do it.
Yeah, he did.
So he'd bring these boys over. Remember Homer?
Oh,
He'd bring Homer
Oh,
Looper over there,
I'm
the
going
pastor's
over
son.
there.
He's my age.
Mama did-
And he'd bring
oh,
Homer's older brother over.
Oh, yeah.
John Looper would be
John.
would be my coach,
Oh,
and then
my
Dad would be Homer's
goodness.
coach, and then we would just fight. And man, he taught us that was bad. That was bad, because that becomes part of your nature. You know what I'm saying? Because you think if you have disagreement, well, let's just fight. That's your first knee-jerk reaction. So that was Dad's.
Yeah.
That was Dad's
That
deal.
was, and he taught me that too. Just fight.
Just fight it out. Fight it out.
No, we just
Fight it out.
just yap it out.
Good memories. So
Yeah.
when was it? So you all went evangelizing? What year was you thinking when evangelized? You said.
Well, you were 6 months old. That was in '74.
So how long was you evangelized?
We stayed on the field completely until till before Joe. Well, I got pregnant with Joey when we went off at French Lick, when we had that little church
Oh yeah, Dad
there.
pastored church in French Lick for a while.
Yeah.
Had a revival there 30 days, didn't you?
Well, we'll get to that. Yeah. Oh, you
Yeah.
want that one? Okay. Okay, that was in Freetown.
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
way back. Look, check this out. Jeff somewhere. I wish Jeff was around here.
Yeah.
Because John Maxwell pastored a church at the same time, right around the corner from Dad. They were both pastoring churches in French Lick right there at the same time. That's where they started from. So John C. Maxwell would be, you know, the leadership guy. So Dad started a little church. We had the Knables was a family in the church.
Yeah.
They were a Mexican family. Or
She
she
was.
was, and he was.
He
yeah.
was a German.
Yeah, he was a doctor or something or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. But where was it that Dad pastored that church in French Lick over there? This was Joe's story. That was Joe's story there, because Joe was a big John Maxwell fan, and
Yeah.
Joe was just believed in his heart of hearts that is that good? That Dad and John Maxwell probably had very possibly had crossed paths over there in that little area of French
Probably
Lick.
so.
Now, how long was you all at French Lick?
Well, we had that singing there. The quartet came from Brother Urshan's church there in Indianapolis.
Mhm.
They came down, and we had that under the dome. That's where we had. And
WSLM put that on, wasn't it?
no, we
radio
did.
station. No, but the radio station was
Oh,
there.
was it?
Yeah.
Was it? See,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
had when
remember.
well years ago, yeah, because
Okay.
for many years they had the sing-a-thon thing
Okay.
It
to
was all
raise
about
money at WSLM in
Okay.
Salem, and it was televised, and Mom and Dad would sing on that all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, every year.
In
Oh.
Paola. Dad worked at the furniture company in
Yeah.
Paola, night watchman.
We lived in West Baden.
Okay.
Right.
In a little house out in the
your
middle of
little
nowhere. And we, snow, I remember snow was so bad, Dad
gosh.
parked the car and put me and you on a sled and led us over the hill on a rope, and we'd get out up on the front porch, and that's how you put the groceries up and down, and Mom would walk down. But
That
Dad, I
was
went to work with Dad at the Paoli Furniture Company. I was a little kid, he'd go at night, and he had to keep the furnace stocked with sawdust and coal, and a conveyor belt would get jammed up, and I'd get to play around and walk around at the night, and I'd get too scared. He goes, "I'm gonna do that building." I said, "I'll be right here." Because I could see that next building. He had to walk through with his clock, go to a little station and click a deal.
Yeah,
That's how
he
they
did.
done the
Yeah.
night watchman. Walk through that whole plant. Every hour or two, he had to do a night watch
Yeah.
check for fire and security. So that was
Yeah,
their.
Kimball's
That's,
pianos.
yeah, did that. But the church was right on 56.
Right.
As you go right past the casino, go past the old hotel, goes around hills and starts going up right over to the left.
There was a
It
little
was an
AMF. Isn't that the organization? It's
It was a
like a Baptist.
Old school
Yeah.
building, old steeple.
We rented from them.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, you bit your Sunday school teacher there.
Oh.
Sister Knable said he bit me, and she bit him back.
Yeah, But that was in,
That's what she told me. She was a little Mexican girl. Had 5 kids. She bit you back. It was, yeah.
Good
So
memories there.
after we left French Lick, that's when we went off the field. We moved to we lived there in Scotts. We moved there to Scottsburg and met the, started with Brother Harris
Brother
there.
Harris now, yeah.
Yeah.
That was in.
Oh, yeah, we were there.
For a long time. Dad was
Dad
the,
and
was the
Sunday
like
school superintendent. Him and Sam
Couch.
Sam
Sam
Couch.
Couch.
They had the Indian and Cowboys Sunday school drive. They'd dress up like that. I remember I was a little kid. I remember he had a cigar. He made a cigar out of like a paper sack,
Yeah.
to put powder, like, baby powder in it. And he'd blow it, and it'd blow smoke out. And that was his, that was his. He only had one puff, and that was it. He had to put some more powder in it. But yeah, that was Your dad was a cowboy and
Wow.
Sam was an Indian.
Oh gosh.
That was real. And
Yeah.
where does Tim live out there, Uncle Tim? That farm.
Courtney.
Courtney.
Courtney's
Yeah,
farm.
the mother. She was my Sunday school
Helen
teacher.
Courtney.
Yeah, she was Sunday school
Yeah.
teacher.
That's Phyllis. and-
Birdie with the yellow bill. That old song, she had a little yellow bird up on the windowsill, and we'd sing it every morning at our Sunday school. Back there with her. Yeah, she was our teacher.
Jude, the question I want to hear a story of, not I guess as a church man, when you started the church in Scottsburg.
Okay.
How did that? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't around. So I don't know how.
Okay. Well,
Before we came back from Missouri.
yeah,
know.
when we came back in Missouri in
When'd you get that truck, Jeff?
87 or 88.
88. It was 88 truck.
Yes. Yeah, 'cause me and you moved to Lexington. We was working in Lexington. We was working for Roger in
Yes.
'88,
Yeah.
and that's when we met them girls in
Started with
'87,
Glenville,
'88.
didn't you?
Well, oh
Pardon?
gosh. Yes. We
Well,
worked
then-
for Glenn. Yes.
Oh,
Jeff
I
and
worked
I
for
did.
Glenn. Well, that's after we moved.
Drywall job.
Well, that's after we moved. Oh my gosh. Yeah, tell us about that one. Yeah. We was laughing about the other day. Glenn said, we came in from work. Glenn said, boys, you won't be needing you after today. Go ahead and load your tools up. I was like, what? I thought, what do we do over there?
Scared JB, and JB took off.
JB was working with us. So Jeff and I are driving down 56 going back to Scottsburg, and JB had a big old green Mercury car. He had it backed off the road, backed up 30. He's flashing his lights at us, flashing his lights at us. He said, boys, what? JB never went back to work either. He's scared. Freaked him
to leave.
out. He did. They just, I don't know what's going on, boys. I don't know. I'm out. He quit.
We was trying to do the contracting business.
Jeff was trying to get a job on the side, what it was. He was trying to get a job on the side and made Glenn mad, He fired both of us. I know. I was like, you got me fired, dude. Dad said, I don't matter, boys, there's plenty of work. Okay, plenty of work.
That
boys.
was between them and their dad. Knew about that. I didn't even.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
true.
know that.
Yeah, that summer. Then that's when we did move up to Lexington, start working for Roger.
Yes.
And we'd frame and roof up there. And
And
then your dad traveled a little bit, and then he
right.
came back and said, hey, I'm gonna start. And then we got married
Yeah.
in '89.
And you
then-
called and said.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
said.
Yeah, we was
you-
working at Lexington. That's when Jeff met. Well, we went to Brother Tingle's. We was working at Lexington. We went down. Mom and Dad was over at Tingle's
Yeah.
camp meeting, and that's where Jeff met the girls. Or I met we all met.
Yeah, we had Cadillacs
The
and
stories,
Lincolns
the
and
stories
these
in
boys.
churches,
is,
man. I tell you, wow.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, we met the girls, and we got then
But
Go ahead.
Dad said, he wanted to start church, and that's when
yeah.
we was working at Lexington. I went to work at Walmart distribution February of '90.
In Seymour.
Yep, Seymour.
In Seymour.
And Dad started at church right after that.
Yeah, we started in December of '90.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
December,
that
December
summer-
the 5th.
that's-
December the 5th of '90. I remember.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
That summer we traveled and got donations, and your uncle, how did he get Mr. Miller? He just kept asking him to,
Well, he came out. I mean.
yeah,
On that land?
yeah.
Yeah.
He just claimed it, I guess, or kept after
He's
Mr.
saying-
Miller.
He told if I'm not mistaken, Dad said I just need a couple of acres, Mr. Miller. He didn't
Yeah.
want to find it. He said, yeah, I got some land down there. He said, come about up to that drainage that goes across here. That's about 2
Yeah.
acres right there. We just cut that off for you right there.
Yeah.
Turned out to be 4 acres.
acres.
It's
Yeah.
4 acres.
Turned out.
So
to be.
he sold it to him 2 acres, price for 4 acres of land.
Yeah.
Yeah, church.
Boy,
still-
Dad faithed that church in. I'm telling you what's the truth. I mean, I was telling somebody
Yeah.
about that. I was telling Eric about that. The guy that was working for us the other day. We was working, Jeff and I out there working. We just remember them old dump trucks hauling that cinders
Oh, my gosh.
from Morgan's over
And
in
I
Austin
would drive it.
Yeah.
to backfill the foundation of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I
coal
know,
cinders.
Huh?
The whole,
Your coast.
Your
Coast-
cinders,
coast
yeah, it was
cross
like,
space.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Or
It's
not
coast.
cross it,
And
whole
these boys would be working or doing whatever, and I would have to do it. And I learned how to drive that big dump truck, and oh gosh, I've driven everything but a semi. You gonna trust me with
Well,
your
I- I'll
semi?
have to-
Oh,
Might have to put you in there, might get you a seat.
But he just, you know, that was after, you know, the Harrises was already gone from that area and everything, and so
Oh yeah, there was nobody there.
so there was no apostolic church there as far. Well, there
Well,
was one,
Yeah,
but
but it's fine. It didn't matter. But,
yeah, we were just different, I guess, a little bit.
Well, Dad had a burden for
Yeah.
for his family. You know, he had a burden. You know, and Aunt Teen was there. You know,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of pull there as far as
I always say everybody's hear about Aunt Teen. There was
Oh,
Teen
yeah.
where
yeah.
Teen
Teen.
got where she couldn't come to church. She'd be sick or something,
Yeah.
and Dad would take Corda's phone and just lay it out there on the altar, and she'd listen to the phone. She listened. She
Yeah.
listened to church when she wasn't there. The phone was laying on the altar, and Dad kicked the phone out and he'd lay it up on the platform, but he'd lay it down there so you could hear better if she laid it down on the floor. And you could see the phone. If the church was going on, the phone was laying there. Teen was listening to it.
Oh yeah.
I hear it about every night. Yeah. If Teen wasn't at church, the phone was on, and she was listening to it. That's before
Man.
Brother, I tell
Facebook
you.
Live thing.
Yeah.
You talking about sowing seeds way back before then.
Yeah.
When we went to Crowsville Church, that's when Brother Johnson
Yeah. He
was the pastor over there. That's when JB was pastor in Scottsburg Church. You know, and then
That's
Brother
before
Johnson.
he went to Breed.
Yes, before JB even took Crowsville Church. But Brother Johnson called Dad in the office and several more guys said, "What does our young people need something? What do you guys suggest and stuff?" And some was talking about just some outings and things like that to keep the young people involved or whatever. Come around to Dad, and Dad said, "Well, brother, you have a spiritual need. There's a spiritual solution for it, and you need to have revival for the young people." Brother Johnson said, "Exactly right, and you're going to preach revival." Dad said, "No, I didn't tell you that. I'm just telling you it's a spiritual situation. You need a spiritual need, the spiritual answer for it." And so anyway, Dad went in and preached revival. I mean, there's a bunch of our cousins. There was 20-something of us got the Holy Ghost in that revival. I was
Yeah.
one of them. I mean, I think Rachel. There was a
Yeah.
whole bunch
and
of
Sheila.
yes, a whole bunch
Sheila
of our
Renee and-
cousins got the Holy
yeah.
Ghost in that revival. Man,
Yeah,
it was just
that
an
is true.
amazing.
Faith Ann and Susie. They got the Holy Ghost there.
There was a bunch. There was a bunch of them.
What year were you in the little storefront up there?
90.
90.
That's where we started.
Yeah.
But he had already got the property out
Yeah.
there. He had already, made the
Yeah.
deal
On
with
the
it
land, yeah.
on the
On the
land.
land
On the
itself,
land,
yeah.
yeah.
It
That's
was in
where
that
we
building
started.
for a long time.
What
Couple
was it? Year-
805 West
West
McLean.
Yeah, that was it. Right
It
there.
was a little shotgun, but it had two sides to it. Dad rented one side,
Yeah.
then he went ahead and rented the whole thing. We had fellowship on the other side of it.
Yeah, that's right there,
Metal cell, yeah.
right back, right there beside CVS now. Yeah.
Joe got in trouble because we went to a conference up in Indianapolis. We were late. 'Cause we went on Saturday night.
I got a
Sunday
late
morning
story.
church. And we come walking in. Uncle Buzz says, "Well, I'm glad the missionaries from Indianapolis." Joe made it back.
Oh my gosh. Oh
was
my
some-
God, brother.
One of the Pace people
Brother.
rented a gym,
Yeah.
and then we was playing basketball, and I twisted my knee, and Uncle Buzz come over, and God healed it right there, right?
Yeah.
Well, me and Ed Inman come in late the next Sunday, come in there, and Ed got up on the drum, started playing. And Uncle Buzz always went on to Aunt Jude's side of the pulpit.
Yeah.
That day he come over on my side, son, sitting there rocking, looking at me. First words out of his mouth was, "I don't know, but God touched a man's eye last night, or God touched a man's knee last night, and his eyes stuck together this morning." hey, and he turned around to Ed Inman and said, "Don't you ever get on this platform coming in late like that."
Oh.
And then told me from across the pulpit, "If you think I'm gonna call these preachers to have you come preach, you can't even be here on time, son. I ain't calling nobody." I did it with.
Oh my gosh, brother. Ooh.
Dad loved you guys.
Hey, but you
Hey.
know what? He came to me afterwards, that day after service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Came up to me, hugged me, and kissed me, and said, I know you got to hide for it, son.
Yes.
He's
Oh,
always loved you,
absolutely.
loved you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
He loved you, Jeremy.
He did. He's proud of you, man.
Yes.
He was proud of you. That's for sure.
Yeah, he
Well-
can't take it. Yeah.
But whatever more questions you had, yeah. That's how it started. That's how it started.
Yeah, that's
But
how it-
just
yeah.
just last thing, when pouring that slab out there on that church that Dad built out there,
Yeah.
Dad called the concrete company.
Oh gosh.
He did. He called right there in Scottsburg. And he said, "I need 30 days on this concrete." give me a just hold it for me for 30 days. The guy said,
deal?
okay, yeah, just let me give me 30 days to pay for it.
Yeah.
So we got your dad and
Oh,
that
man.
one boy from Lexington that was a sheetrock finisher. I think a finisher. I think he may have died.
David Bull,
David.
died.
David. That's exactly David. That's exactly what it was. I remember Uncle Roger and pulled up. It was still dark. They pulled in. They left out of Lexington so early, and it was pitch dark. When we started, them trucks was lining up, man, to come in there and pour it. We poured all day long at 50 by 100 building. Unbelievable. Poured until dark. It was dark at night. And I remember David went out there in the truck. He was beat out, man, beat down. And Dad went out. He called somebody and said, I'm coming through, whatever it was. Yeah, or maybe I think Brother Looper called him, whatever. Dad, and he said, Brother Looper said, we took up an offering for you last night. Dad said, well, we got that. He said, where'd you get that concrete for? That's what Brother Looper said. Did you get that concrete? Dad said, yes, we poured it. We sure did. He said, well, good. He said, we took up an offering for you last night. He said, how much is that concrete? Dad said, it was $3,000. He said, we took up an offering for you last night. It was $3,000. I'm telling you, brother, it was just faith on top of faith on top of faith. That's how it was
He
built.
built faith in all of us, you know.
Still works today, brother.
Yeah.
It works.